If you ever ask somebody, may I jerk off in front of you? And they say yes. Just say, are you sure? That's the first part. And then if they say yes, just don't fucking do it. Just don't do it.
There you go, a little garlic fart for Lee. I told him one was coming.
We spray that shit all the time.
Wait,
Right
you
now.
gotta wait for this. This will kill Corona, Corona's cousin, and every fucking buddy.
Jesus Christ, they took everything from Louis. I was like, I don't know, it might be disproportionate. I can't tell. I can't tell. This is like where it's hard to be a man. One lady said, Louis C.K. masturbating in front of me ruined my comedy dreams. Word. Well, then I dare say, madam, you may have never had a dream.
Either shoot ourselves or move forward. So I have to applaud Louis for moving forward. And he sold out all the shows. And I heard it was 40% women, and they were up on their feet and clapping too.
If the rules are drawn out and set down, then that's one thing. But, you know, I always thought the audience would decide whether you're an objectionable comic or even a good comic, you know? And so Louis went up here at the Comedy Cellar, and the audience let him know. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. But if the audience don't like him, then the club won't book him. I mean, that's how things work. And, you know, just because your heart can break for more than one person at the same time, you know, and a person can do a bad thing and you can feel sorry for that person while feeling worse for the person that had the bad thing done to them. This is all so self-evident. It's hard for me to unpack, but I wanted to use the word unpack.
I believed that a path to redemption should exist.
Right.
Not just for him. I mean, just for most people in life, like people who do bad things.
What about like Cosby though?
Well, okay.
That was really bad.
My point was that you know, somebody gets arrested, let's say, goes to jail for any number of terrible things.
Right.
You could be accused of assault, armed robbery, murder, manslaughter, all these horrible things. Eventually, some of those people get released, and it's like you can't just be like, that's it. Like you don't get to. Well, you're back
banished.
in society now.
Right.
You have to figure out ways. So for a lot of people, they go, you know, let's say somebody's accused of a horrific, violent thing. They're locked up for 20-some years. They go, well, they did. They paid their debt to society, so they're entitled to whatever now, even though people don't have to hire them.
Right.
You know. So this is obviously not the same thing, but there is some parallel to there's a bad thing done. You need to pay some type of price.
There's penance involved. Yeah.
So you can make an argument that, you know, part of the penance is the public shame of it all.
Yeah.
Part of the penance is losing, you know, he had big television deal with FX that went away. Touring business just stopped, obviously.
Right, so there's monetary.
So there's monetary punishments.
Sure.
To it. Then you have to go, well, if he did, you know, he did admit to doing these things, it's like probably, I mean, this is just an opinion, needs to be some type of interaction with the people that you, or, you know, let them dictate some terms of making it okay. If the legal system had been involved, it's a much clearer cut path.
Right, because the whole point is to make somebody whole again. That's the whole point of the legal system. And
well, it's also like a direct punishment. So you go, like,
right,
you're going to jail, you're paying a fine.
Here's your penance.
This is the penance.
Yeah, and I think that might be the biggest flaw of the Me Too movement is just like, okay, I get it. Like, we're not victim blaming. If a girl says it should happen, yeah okay, it happened. So let's get, what are the next steps? Let's be very clear and specific about punishment and we weren't. And that's why this shit is not fucking working now. Now he's back.
I think he should, you know, you can't stop someone from doing whatever. I mean,
no.
You know, it
but
seems
is there
like
no legal.
It seems like he's, I don't know. It seems like he's going to keep doing spots, I imagine.
So
What I
crazy.
think is crazy, actually, is that
So crazy.
I do think it's crazy that the clubs let surprise drop-ins.
well,
for
in
him.
this case, somebody
Yeah.
should have been the gatekeeper here and been like, I don't know.
because here's why it's not
guys.
cool. It's not cool to have a polarizing person surprise pop in.
Right.
Because
like
then-
Cosby.
Yeah, because then you're basically saying that people who are in the audience
Yeah.
whose night might be ruined by it, you're like, so? It's like, dude, let the person, I'm all for the market dictating what's okay and not.
Yeah, sure.
So if you go, Louis on this show tonight, you're allowing audience people to go, okay, I support the
Yeah.
venue
Right.
and the comic. I'm spending my money. Go ahead.
Right.
Show me what's what.
Right. Let the consumer decide whether or not they're on
Because
board.
you're not
Fine.
really letting that happen. And I know some people are like, yeah, but they can get up and leave. It's like,
Yeah, but you fucking
no, they don't want to get up and leave.
you ruined their night.
Yeah, let them figure out whether or not that's the place they want to be.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about the Louis stuff recently?
Sure.
What was your reaction to it? He comes
As
back,
far
he
as
does
what?
comedy, and everybody gets pissed off.
Well, I don't think it was everybody. It was
Well,
just,
a lot of people.
yeah, some people got pissed off, and then a lot of people thought like, he's had enough. Let him up off the mat. I always equate it to like, I'd watch a buddy of mine get into a fight. I wanted him to win, but after a while, it was like, all right, it's over. You got him. Like, let him up. I mean, they took everything from him, and like, if he wants to go out and do stand up, I mean, it's a free country. You don't have to like it. You don't have to go to the shows or anything like that. But I just wish we could get out of this. I wish we could get back to I don't know if that period ever existed, but I wish we could get to a period where you could discuss things and not just
have to pick a
have people
side
start
one way or the
yelling at you and then try to destroy your career just because you have a difference of opinion. Where if you're on the same page going, hey, this behavior is not correct and should be dealt with, and then you're disagreeing on type of punishment, length of punishment, or anything like that, and then it just becomes like this thing where that we live in a world now where you have to be afraid to say that stuff. It's to people who are allegedly progressive. It's like, how are you progressive if I have a difference of opinion, and so then you're going to try to destroy me? Is the irony of that? I don't have a problem if somebody disagrees with me. I would never try to go out, and like ruin them to the point that they're out on the street, And then I also have like a there's a lot of shit where it's just like, this sounds like a job for the authorities and people who went to law school, as opposed to me, who's just some
people on Twitter.
Yeah, and me, like, what the fuck do I know about the legal system? I don't know any of this stuff, but like most people, I do have an opinion, and I don't have a problem if somebody disagrees with me. I would never go after them like that, especially if they haven't done anything other than weigh in on a topic. It's bizarre. Like, everybody on the internet, they're just such good people, like, without having to demonstrate it. That's what I love. Like, there'll be like a hashtag. I saw one. It was this things I don't tolerate. And adults were literally weighing in on this. And then they were just saying all of this obvious applause break shit like racism, bigotry, my favorite one, mean people. It's like, what are you, fucking 5 mean people? And that's just like, what did you have to demonstrate that you don't do that? Now, is there video of you being somewhere with a bunch of white people and someone drops the N-word and then you don't tolerate it? Is there any of that evidence? Or did you just fucking just write a bunch of shit and it becomes like this self-serving fucking thing that's allegedly for the better good of society when it really isn't? It's like all those jerk-offs on Instagram acting like they're trying to inspire you and they're just trying to show you all the cool shit they have and their six-pack abs. I'm so fucking sick of people on Instagram telling me how hard they're working. Yo, we out here grinding, out here trying to get this paper. It's just like, yeah, everybody is. Oh, do you have to work hard in life? I didn't realize that. It's just like my favorite one. I love the one too where you bring all your cars out around the private jet. And it's just like, did you drive all those out there yourself and you just Ubered back to your garage? Did that take all day? Or did you have the gardener drive over the Hummer?
I like LeBron
and then you have
Instagram
to
workouts.
stand there, and you cannot be looking at the camera. You got to be looking. You got to be looking off.
sideways.
Yeah, and you got to have a look on your face. This is like, this is how we do it, man. This is. Oh, is that how you do it? I didn't know you could do it like that. I would have done it that way had I known how to do it. How do you do it? Oh, we're working hard. It's like none of this means anything. It's just somebody trying to. It's just like just be an arrogant ass. Stop acting like you're trying to fucking help me.
The LeBron Instagram.
You knew the
workout
old man in me
videos.
was going to come out at some point in this fucking podcast.
The LeBron Instagram workout videos. Like I can't imagine Bird of Magic doing that 30 years ago, 35 years ago.
Well, in defense of him.
Let me tell you about a story so true. We're showing me style and it's all so cool. It's about a garment torn and frayed. Getting his threads, the story conveyed. Walking down the streets with holes in my teeth. These ripped things here, part of me you see. It ain't about the brand or the label it holds. It's about the journey, the stories it unfolds. In these ragged clothes, I find my voice. A testament to resilience, my choice. From the streets to the stage, I rock my style. In my tattered shirt, I walk that mile. Ripped and torn, but still I stand in my ragged attire. I command, it's not just fabric, it's a statement. I preach in my threadbare garment, I find my reach. From the barrio to the bar, I make my mark. In my worn out jeans, I leave a spark. They may call it rags, but I call it art. In every stitch and tear, I play my part. It's the struggle of the streets, the hustle so real. In my tattered jacket, I seal the deal. A symbol of defiance against the status quo. My patch, the pants, I let it show. It's not about the riches or the wealth I lack. In my faded hoodie, I stay on track. It's the heart of the hustle, the grind each day. In my worn out kicks, I find my way. Ripped and torn, but still I stand. In my ragged attire, I command. It's not just fabric, it's a statement I preach. In my threadbare garment, I find my reach. So here's to the ones with the clothes that tear. In our patched up attire we have, so let the world see our garments worn. For in our rags, our stories are born. In the language of the streets we speak. In our torn up clothes we find our peak.
Though that didn't exist. They would have. There would have been people who did that shit. Bird never would have had it.
Bird was like tarring his driveway during the summers. Like Bird hurt his back tarring his fucking driveway.
I know. Because they gave you that one standard brush.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You want to pay somebody $7 an hour to do his driveway. He's making like $1 million
Well, that's
a year.
fair. How cheap
Come
he
on,
was.
Larry.
When he was in the
cheap.
Olympic Village, I
Yeah.
ain't paying $8 for a beer, and his 6'9" self just walked down the street
You always
to a bar to go get a beer.